All right, welcome back to the Ascend Bible Church podcast. I'm Pastor John, joined by Pastor Mitch.
What up?
How you doing?
Good.
All right, so we wanted to take some time to just talk about the new space. If you've been around Ascend, you know that we have recently signed a lease.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we are prepping, even now as we speak, this new space for us to meet. But before we get there, I'm trying to think. It was a Saturday night or a Friday night?
I think it was a Friday.
All right. So Friday night, I'm hanging out with the family and I get a call from Mitch Green, which usually isn't a good thing if it's in the middle of an evening on a Friday. So, but he calls me and he says, "Hey, I'm on my way to Skyline."
Skyline Chili.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm driving to Skyline Chili. We had actually just looked at a different space earlier in the week, and we had ultimately decided that the space wasn't good for us to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like I understood, but I was still a little bit like, okay, another door closed.
To give you a little perspective, it was a 25,000 square foot facility.
Yeah.
It was
so
pretty big.
It was just like another door's closed, and that was a bit of a bummer. And so I was driving, I was thinking about that, and drove by the school. I didn't really need to go that way, but I just sometimes like to drive by the school, and drove by, and I noticed as I was driving by that the antique mall space in the strip center didn't have a sign over the top. And I was just like, that's kind of interesting. Like, why is the antique mall sign not there? And so I think I called you on the way by it.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the way back, I stopped by, looked at the door. There was a for lease sign on the door. And I decided, I was like, I'm going to call him right now. Got on the phone with this lady. She starts giving me details. She's like, this space, it's like 7,500 square feet. That's pretty big. And I'm like,
perfect.
That's perfect, And then she's like, the rent's gonna cost this much, and I was like, well, that's less than we're paying right now, And so I was like, well, when can we see it? And so we were just so excited at the potential of it. It's a space that you and I have walked by before.
Mm-hmm.
We
even mentioned that space specifically.
We had a friend in town, if you remember this, my friend Luke Calvert, a church planter in New York City, and we went and we got lunch with him at Schneider's, just like the little bar pub,
a little bar on the other side.
Ate some pizza that he didn't think was very good.
Oh yeah, from New York, he's not going to think anything's good.
And we walked him from there to the other end, and we're like, hey, this is even a space that's intriguing to us. And so, it's crazy to see the Lord weave it together. But that is how we came across the space, and so
Yeah. So then we've been moving in on it. We signed the lease. At the point of you listening to this, it'd probably be about 3 to 4 weeks. But yeah, what are we most excited for in this new space? Why do we need to move right now?
Yeah. So we sent out an email a while back, which I've had people ask me about the email, and I'm like, it was a condensed version of a 30-page paper for a class on leading your church through change. And so people were like, man, that was really thought through. I'm like, well, you want the 30-page version? And nobody's taken me up on reading the 30-page version yet. They just want the email.
Just give me the cliff notes.
Yeah. But no, again, there's this reality for us that in a community like Perry Township, where there are not a lot of stable things with roots, we think it's important for our church, which I would argue is already one of the more community-focused, engaging things, life-giving things to the community, to have more stable roots.
Mm-hmm.
There's just this presence of being portable that works great in a lot of churches in a lot of situations for a long period of time, because the portability provides mission, places to serve, and all these things. But I think for us in our context, the importance of solid roots in the community outweigh the missional focus of portability. And so I think that's kind of the big anchor is it tells people, hey, we plan to be here in a community where people are not, people plan to be there. But how do I say this and be gracious to other churches?
Let's think through this for a second.
Yeah.
Just think about that strip.
Yeah.
I think we were talking with the building owner, and every single thing in that strip, except for maybe one, has been there since when?
1991 when they owned it. So prior than that. So Vito Provolone, Schneider's, both were there when they bought the building in 91.
Yeah.
So if that just tells you those are the stable presences in the community. I mean, Vito Provolone, is there more staple,
Right.
restaurant on the
If you
south
ask
side.
people anywhere on the south side if you know where Vito Provolone is, that most of them will say yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so
And
like
so we don't want to be a flash in the pan. And in fact, we're choosing to put our roots in this community because of the gospel impact that we can see that would take place. Where, and again, I say this broadly, I'm not speaking of any specific church, but I've spoken with church leaders that have openly said they would rather their church be in a different community. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad. Like that is the opposite of what we're trying. We're trying to press in and say, hey, how do we become something that breathes life into this place? And so stability helps us do that.
Yes. Yeah. Having a space that we can be in 24/7, 365.
And that's the second side of it. So
Yeah.
what does stability provide? Well, now we can have missional impact that's not contingent upon, renting a coffee shop,
Yep.
which has been a great partnership.
Yeah. We love Mocha Nut.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. I still plan to be frequent there quite often.
Yeah.
My calendar meetings will still default for coffee at Mocha Nut.
There you go.
But it's beyond that. It's the like we can host things throughout the week that are not just on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And so it's this like, because we have space, we can do more to gain more of a missional impact.
Yeah. And so like I think we get it. Like it makes sense. We're all excited. We want to be there. We love the school. Like the relationship with the
And we
school
don't see
is
that
super
changing.
strong, and we don't see that changing.
Can I speak to that
but-
for just 1 second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even just the school. I think so. We don't want space to do everything at our space. So, like, we just had our outreach team meeting yesterday, and one of the things we were talking about is, I love when we do, as a Sin Bible Church, when we do block parties or we throw events, that we like go to places to do them. That we don't just say come to us. We don't see that changing. Like
Right.
while we will do some things on site,
Yeah.
we still plan to go to people.
To be active
to
in the
reach
community,
them,
you
to
must
be
be
involved.
visible in the community.
Yeah, presence.
Yeah.
The practice of presence, in places. And so we don't see that changing. We just see us being able to do more alongside those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like next steps, how can we be helping? What do we need to be doing?
Yeah. So first, I think it probably even good if people, on a broader sense, understand how we're foreseeing our roles in this. So I am doing more of like the people leading, the vision casting, the shepherding components of it. And you're doing more of the facility management side.
Mhm.
I say that so that if you come to me and you go, hey, I'd love to do blank, I'm going to tell you 100% of the time, go talk to John about that. So that's why I think it's good that that's clear. We are currently in the phase right now where we're receiving bids, we're receiving contracts, we're trying to map out how we're going to tackle this space.
Yeah.
So that Lord willing, we can be in that space in some capacity here in the next couple months.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the broadest version, and just because we want to play it safe, but we want to exist in that space as soon as possible.
Yeah. As soon as possible, because we want to be good stewards of the resources God has given us. We don't want to be paying double rent at some point.
Yeah, and that's
so,
the
like,
reality. Yeah.
If you think about that, like that is our goal, is to be there as soon as possible, which also means when we walk in there week 1, just know that is probably not going to be the final product. In fact, it will not be the final product. We're going to be walking into a very this is the bare minimum of what it needs to be. It'll function the way we need to. But you're still going to see pipe and drape walls, and you're still going to see the portable sound system, and you're still it's not going to be very different. It's going to be in a different space.
Yeah.
But we're still the same church.
Yeah, and vision cast and celebrate things. I think for me in my life, I like celebrating little things over time rather than one big celebration.
Yeah.
You think of the version of the Christmas morning where you get the new toy and then 5 days later it's not cool anymore. Or you think of the version where okay, you can see multiple things come in over time. And I think it gives us this ability to celebrate things as they happen, to exist in the space, to be good stewards, and then also to show people where we plan to go as a church. And so I'm excited, again, for the potential of that. And I think so another way to answer the question, you're kind of saying what do we need to know? How do we get involved? I would say there's multiple ways you can get involved. And so The first is we have decided financially to approach this like we have some money set aside that we think can go to fund this space. But I want to cast the financial details in a way that so our church having money in the bank has been so beneficial for our church. Um, I just to put it in like the most practical way that I've been able to think about it. We have received the amount of interest that we receive on our cash in the bank is close to the amount that we spend on our children's ministry per month on interest because we're a small church with a children's ministry that doesn't spend a bunch of money. So us having money in the bank is incredibly beneficial for our ability to step into ministry opportunity and allowing our church to be healthy. As someone that talks to church plants across the United States, that's unheard of. Like you are living paycheck to paycheck in the church plant world. But yet, because we've been able to steward our resources well, sit money aside in some wise ways, not over budget, we've been able and have strong partnerships from Sending Church, Redeemer Bible Church, and other relationships. We've been able to have this sit here. Well, once we enter this project phase, we've always seen those funds as they're dedicated to that. So that will go away in some ways. So I would just encourage you. I say that because people have asked me things like, well, are we going to be able to give to certain aspects of the project? Are we going to, have specific things we can, is there going to be a specific opportunity? And at this point, I don't think there's going to be. And the reasons being because we operate in a one fund mode, and that's just how we understand giving. Not that there's not a time and place for a campaign or something specific or above and beyond, an offering gift. But in this time and place, we're just calling our people to continually faithfully give to the church. If the Lord leads you to give beyond your regular giving, I would say step into it because it's going to benefit the ministry of the church. Don't wait for us to come out and go, hey, here's this thing. Now give to it. And I'm not telling you that there won't be a time and place for that as the project develops, but I just tell you right now, our excess resources are going to the project, And so you want to say anything more to that, or does that kind of cover?
I think that kind of covers it. Like we just ask, like, be faithful, just like you have been.
Yeah.
The Lord has blessed us.
We stood in front of our core team when we were going through the book of Acts, and we we're talking about we were covering Ananias and Sapphira, and literally the main point of the message was give to God faithfully what he calls you to give. And I don't remember my big idea from 2 weeks ago, so I don't know why I remember that one. But I've seen our church respond to that call in a way that I don't really want to have to spell it out much differently than that.
Yeah. That's all we ask.
We hope we are working hard to faithfully steward what the Lord has given us. Believe me, we're not like we don't waste resources. And at the same time, your giving allows us to step into ministry opportunities if we don't spend it on this project. And at the same time, it allows us to complete this project in a way that doesn't allow us to take on, any debt or anything like that. And so that's just one side. That's the give side. The serve side, I would be on the lookout for, first I would say if you're someone that you're handy and you want to do something, make sure we know. Like go to John and tell him.
I have a list.
So so he can have it in his Rolodex of people. And then be on the lookout for opportunities to come serve. Like we will, communicate those out specifically to the group of people who've said they want to, and then broader as it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the serve side. The third side I would say is like continue to pray for us. The discernment and the decision making, like, I mean, we are so excited.
Yeah.
But it's taxing.
Oh man. Yeah. If I can be transparent just for a minute, it's like you've asked me to take over the building side of things. And I've never done anything like that before. So like I am over here trying to figure out like, what are the priorities? What do I need to be focusing on? And I honestly have no idea.
Yeah. And so we're trying to lean into the Lord's will. We're trying to do our best, to make plans, but trust the Lord is leading them. And it's like, it can be a weighty season. And so again, they say that the two most stressful seasons in the life of a pastor are going through a building transition or going through or like your 7th year of ministry, because there's just this cycle to it.
Something about 7.
Yeah, but the building transition side, it's like we're trying to see this as a unifier momentum builder for what the Lord's doing in our
Yeah.
church, not something that creates divisiveness and division. And
Yeah.
so I would just
Yeah.
encourage you, just pray for that. Pray that
Yeah,
the Lord
please.
unifies us. Pray for the mission of our church in this. And we are excited again to be gathering in the next few months in this space, and then celebrating it with the community, and just, digging our feet in a little bit more and saying like, this is where we're supposed to be.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So you got anything else to add?
Not so much more, but that's what
there's a
leave it
ton
today.
But yeah, ascend, you are loved. We will see you again on Sunday.